I think the biggest thing that's contributing to the growth in smartphone loan applications is actually just the overall adoption of smartphones by average consumers. We've seen that we've already passed that tipping point where the majority of Americans have smartphones. In fact, we've also seen some research that shows that 79% of Americans, the first thing that they do in the morning is wake up and look at their smartphone. So I think just the smartphone loan growth is an extension of that usage. People have these devices, they want to use them, they've become part of their daily lives, and so a natural evolution is to use the online loan application from a credit union. That's a really timely question. We've seen members' adoption of smartphones increasing, obviously, and that manifests itself in their transactions and their relationship with credit unions. There was a Fed study and a bank rate study that both showed that transaction volume has been increasing while branch visits have been declining. I personally don't believe that credit unions should get out of the branch model. Branches are an important part of the relationship that credit unions have with their members. But for the day-to-day transactions, those are all shifting to mobile, and the branches will be more of a resource for credit union members when they want financial education, when they want to have when they're going through a complex transaction or need more guidance. Yeah, I think there are really kind of two areas as it relates to mobile that credit unions need to respond to. First, I've worked with a large contingent of credit unions who still haven't mobile optimized their sites or their services, and it's a really simple, straightforward thing, but as I said earlier, we've passed that tipping point, and credit unions really need to get on the bandwagon with mobile optimization. So that means mobile optimizing their website, mobile optimizing their home banking platform, and certainly their lending platform as well. So really getting focused on executing mobile optimization is a really important part of their strategy. In fact, Google had some really interesting research that they did in the financial services industry that showed that 48% of users who went to a credit union's or financial institution's website rather, that was not mobile optimized, they felt frustrated and annoyed and didn't think that the financial institution cared about them. And then 40% of that same study would actually go to a competitor's website if the one that they were visiting was not mobile optimized. So there's some really strong reasons to make sure that they're investing in mobile optimization. So the other thing that credit unions need to do is really think about a mobile-first strategy in everything that they're doing. And I don't just mean the technology tools that they develop, but things that they're executing could be like an advertising campaign as well. They may place an ad in a Sunday paper, and they need to think about how is a member going to engage with them from that advertisement into the mobile space. So that could mean putting a QR code into the ad or a really short URL that's really easy for the member to access and get more information, because that kind of integration between traditional advertising and the mobile experience is really important to users as well. So I think that credit unions right now underestimate the value of online lending in the mobile space. We see a lot of credit unions who look at the mobile channel as an expense first. Oh, I have to spend money to do remote deposit capture, I have to spend money to enable home banking. But they should also really think about that as more of a broad mindset, as that mobile is a channel, an opportunity. Online lending enables interest income and non-interest income for the credit union, and really a great member experience. So they need to embrace mobile as not an expense item, but really more of a whole channel that they need to have a strategy around. The other thing that I think that they can do is think about member engagement. As we talked about earlier, members are less likely to visit a branch on a day-to-day basis, and so they have to look for those opportunities in mobile where they can engage members in new ways. And that was a lot of the reason why we built Ask Auto, because we wanted to create ways for credit union members and credit unions to connect together virtually when that member is on the dealer lot. Yeah, we've developed Smartphone Loans, which is our mobile loan application, and we've also developed Ask Auto, which is our native smartphone loan application. So we've learned a lot from those experiences, but I think the biggest thing that we've learned is really focusing in on user experience. We talk all the time to credit unions who use smartphone loans about making sure that they're asking only the right questions, those pertinent questions that the member absolutely has to fill out on their smartphone in order to get the loan application and get the decision back. A lot of credit unions want to force all the questions that they need to close the loan into that process, and what we want to do is really focus in on how much data entry does a member have to do on the phone versus what can wait till later. So really thinking about the user and making a great experience is really, really important for us. I think the one thing that we're really interested in watching is we think of mobile as both smartphones and tablets, but when you segment those two out, Tablets are a unique experience under their own and have a little bit more opportunity to capitalize on the additional real estate and do some different things with tablets. So tablets for us is something that we're watching. Loanliner.com last month, March of 2014, we had 20.7% of our traffic came through our mobile channel, and a third of that was from tablets. And tablet applicants tend to apply for larger loan sizes than those that are applying from a smartphone. So we are watching that and seeing what kind of unique experiences we can create and what it means to have these different devices in member hands. I think the only thing is that, as I said earlier, I've had a lot of opportunity to talk to credit unions about mobile lending, mobile presence, that whole thing. And I think the most important thing, again, is just the tide is here, it has arrived. Mobile is just part of everyday life, and if the credit union isn't thinking about mobile, they really need to start focusing on it, or as some of those Google research reports reflected, their members are going to pass them by because they haven't spent the time and effort to optimize for mobile.